Welcome back to JB Reviews. I have the all-new GMC Sierra Denali EV here. And guess what, guys? This is the only way we can continue to sell internal combustion engines. Now you might be wondering, why would these affect internal combustion engines? We're going to talk about it in this video. But before we do that, I got to show you guys around this truck really quickly. Those are 24-inch wheels, by the way. And on the front end, check this out. This thing takes forever to do. Come on, any day now. I know it's cold outside. I know you don't like the cold, but you gotta do this a little bit quicker for me. Check this out, guys. This thing has a frunk. So the benefits of not having an engine here is you get extra space. This is like a car in a lot of cases. And in order to close it back, you just push the button again. And voila, that is pretty cool. Now, this is actually pretty big too out back. This thing has tons of space, bigger than what I have. I have an HD, and you have a glass roof. It's not gonna open or anything like that, but it's nice to be able to take a look at those views, although you can't see them because of the clouds, but there's mountains over there. Now, this truck cost, $99,495, and it is super nice. But for $90,000, it's gonna be a tough sale for some people because these trucks, I mean, it's already hard enough to buy a $60,000 truck. A $100,000 truck? Whew. We're gonna go for a quick drive in this Sierra EV, okay? And we're gonna discuss something that someone sent me. Now, I've always heard about credits. I never really understood it because if you look online, you can't really find an article talking about it because it's not something that's really out in the open. It's really the Democrats' way of controlling us without controlling us, right? So, in order for the manufacturers to continue to build internal combustion engines, they have to sell these. Now, as you guys just saw, this truck's $100,000. I've done some testing, other people have done some testing. The reason why some people buy pickup trucks is because they plan on towing a trailer. Now, these things have ridiculous performance, and as I've seen it, they're heavy, and on top of that, I mean, they have 8-lug hubs. So they're really built to probably tow heavy. Only problem is, it takes a lot of juice to tow a trailer with this thing. So this thing will probably only get about 100 miles, give or take, towing a decent sized trailer. And if you're planning to go cross country, 100 miles every stop is, that would work for anyone. But on top of that, if you want to charge it, there's not a charger everywhere for it, and it's going to take 2 to 3 hours on a supercharger to get this thing back up to 100% battery. So, as I said, in order for the manufacturers to continue to build internal combustion engines, they have to sell these things. So, I'm going to show you guys a picture here. For every one EV, this is at a meeting that GM hosted for salespeople. For every one EV that they sell, whether it be the Hummer or this Sierra EV, they're allowed to build and sell 30 internal combustion engine heavy-duty pickup trucks. Now, what sense does that make? I mean, after all, these things should sell themselves. I mean, look how cool this thing is. I mean, it has the big iPad screen, it's super fast, it has a Thor's hammer right here. Let's go ahead and click this bad boy. Let's see what that does. Did I turn it off? I might have turned it off. There it is, I turned it back on. So let's see how fast this thing is. I'm gonna get around this little Toyota here. Watch this. Oh my goodness. We're doing 80 miles an hour, guys. What? This thing is super fast. Why would no one want to buy this? This thing is so fast. If anything, they should make it to where for every one internal combustion engine they sell, they can make 100 of these because it's so fast. It's probably not safe at all for some people to be driving something this quick. I mean, this thing is super fast. Wow, I felt that in my chest a little bit. I wasn't expecting it. I'm not even gonna lie. That was my first time ever doing it. I wasn't expecting it to be that fast. But oh my goodness, this thing is so, I mean, if you want to be a butthole on the road, you can get over it. It's so fast. Okay. Back to what we're talking about. So yes, for every one of these that they sell, they are allowed. I want you to keep that word in the back of your mind. They are allowed. You are not allowed to make internal combustion engines if you don't sell these. Who does that sound like? One last thing. I'm gonna brag on this again. Here, hold on, let's see. So let's turn on. Uh-oh. It says it's not available. There it is. So this thing has Super Cruise. Let's go ahead and go a little bit faster too. I'm gonna go 80. So this thing has such cool features. It has this mode that makes it go bananas when you launch it. It has all-wheel steering, has air suspension, it can drive itself, it will actually even change lanes for you. I mean, this thing is amazing. Why would anyone not want to buy this thing? Oh, did I mention it was $100,000? Maybe that's why. I wanted to show you guys the regenerative braking. Check it out. 120, 130 kilowatts for regenerative braking. It is really strong in these trucks. I did it on a Silverado EV, and if it's on high, it's on normal right now. If it's on high, it will throw you through that windshield. I promise you, it is super, super strong. And listen, this thing, it handles great. It feels good on the road, and that's in part to the air suspension. I mean, this thing's heavy too, so it rides like a Cadillac. So let's think about that for a second. If people cannot afford to spend $100,000 for this Sierra or even the Hummer EV, what does that mean for our internal combustion engines? Does that mean the prices of those will just continue to go up? Because at some point, if they're not building and selling enough of these, right, then that means those trucks are going to be more scarce, which means the price of them are going to continue to rise. Now we know why our trucks are so expensive. People always talk about pricing on my channel. I guess I do it too sometimes, so I have to admit it. So yes, this is why they're so expensive. It's because they're trying to find ways to make those more expensive so they can continue to build these. And that's what I have a problem with. So not only are these kind of blocking internal combustion engines from being produced, if you think about it, how many of these trucks are they going to sell a year? How many $100,000 trucks? Now, the good news is there is a tax credit, so some people are going to want that advantage, especially if they're a business owner. And this truck is really heavy, really heavy. So it is a business write-off. So I can see some companies wanting to get one of these. Where's it at? Oh, it's down here. So yeah, so 10.5, I guess I could have showed it to you in that sticker too, but I wanted to see the axles as well. So the axle ratings are 5750, 5300, and then 10.5 is the gross fuel weight rating. So this is a heavy, stinking truck. It weighs more than some of the Ram trucks out there, actually. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? For every one of these that they sell, whether it be the Hummer or this, they are allowed to build 30 internal combustion engines. Imagine the amount of trucks that are sold that are internal combustion compared to these. Now, if they were to build a EV truck that was, I don't know, maybe 40,000, and it could go 400 or 500 miles on a charge, and it took, you know, an hour maybe, I could see that being a hit. But they're not going to sell a bunch of these, so I'm telling you, the price of our trucks are going to go up significantly. And I have a problem with that. It looks like they're trying to control what we can buy. Not the people who want this, the people who want something like that or those trucks up yonder. Like, you see that dually right there? They don't make an EV dually. A lot of people get upset with me for my political views. And I don't know how else to say this, but I'm going to say it. when you ask me how I could vote for the racist criminal, this is how. To me personally, this is an easy decision. For every one EV, this truck's $100,000. For every one that they sell, they are allowed, and I'm going to keep using that word, allowed, to produce internal combustion heavy-duty pickup trucks. So when I talk about political things, it's because it is truck related. You know why? Because they brought themselves into our cars. They are controlling our cars, and I have a problem with it. I don't care how you feel about it. If you don't like it, then you don't have to watch me. I'm just speaking truth right now. These trucks have gotten so stinking expensive, and the sad thing about it is people are going to continue to buy these trucks because a lot of guys do work with them. You know, I actually work with my truck too. I have 2 trailers that I pull, you know, at least a couple times a month. Not my RV, but my black trailer, I try to do towing tests with it. So I'm using my truck for what its intended purpose is. So when I get political, I just want you guys to understand something. It's not that I'm trying to get you to do something that you don't want to do. It's just you have to start doing research on what's really happening. I would have never believed it if someone just told me that you have to sell these to sell those. I would have never believed that. I would have said that's a lie. There's no way the government would ever do something like that. And here we are. That is what's happening. And when you think about assault rifles, I know that there's a lot of shootings that happen in our country, but that's because we're soft on crime. If you want to fight fire with fire, then you can fix the problem a lot quicker, because that's who I am. I'm all about just fixing the problem as quickly as I can and moving on. But we ain't gonna talk about that because people get offended so easily. So I'm done talking. I want you guys to start talking because I think that this is very easy. This is an easy decision. Do you guys agree that in order for the manufacturers to continue to build internal combustion engines, they have to sell one EV? I'm telling you guys, at some point, people are gonna have to start taking one for the team, because that's where we are. Because when the market does inevitably crash, trust me when I say this, businesses are gonna still need to buy trucks. And what I can tell you is a lot harder to sell trucks like this when the market's not good. Just saying. And I didn't say this in the video yet, but the dealers told me there's no markup in these things. Like, so the MSRP and the invoice are pretty much the same price. There's not a big markup in these. So it's not like the dealership can just give them away. So in other words, you're gonna be paying what that sticker says in most cases, unless the manufacturer is willing to put steep rebates on these things, that way that people can afford them. But even still, like, I mean, it's a $100,000 pickup truck that can't really tow much. Sorry about that, I had to put the camera down. I didn't want to wreck this $100,000 truck, so yeah. In the comment section, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching the video. For all the people who are going to say you need to keep politics off this channel, I will say this until I'm blue in the face. They decided to stick their noses in our automotive, and because of it, I got to talk about it. And if you are okay with this type of rhetoric, where in order for the manufacturers to continue to build internal combustion engines, they have to sell these EVs, if you're okay with that, then you're a part of the problem.
This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently.